need to keep pushing back. We will not go back. We will not go back. Start stepping back. We will not go back. We will not go back. We will not go back. Step back.
I'll tell you when to stop. Keep moving back.
We will not go back. We still believe I need a help. We believe
Guys, everyone behind the door.
we still believe I need a help. We still believe I need a help. We believe Debbie Ramirez. 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 We believe
go. We're moving out. Let's go. Let's go.
They will not go back.
Lay back.
They will not go back.
Moving. Go back to the elevator.
Move, guys.
They will not go back.
Back to the elevator.
They will not go back. They will not go back.
Back to the elevator.
They will not go back. They will not go back.
Keep moving. Go back to the elevator.
Hold on. Hold up on the left. Back to the elevator. Go back to the elevator. Go back to the elevator. Back to the elevator. Back to the elevator. Step back. Step back.
We will not go back. We will not go back.
Step back. Step back. I'll get you back. Step back. Step back. Step back. Step back. Step back. Get him. Step back. Step back.
Keep moving.
Step back.
Keep moving.
Let them do their job. Let them do their job.
How far back is the elevator?
Let them do their job. Let them do their job. Let them do their job.
What's the reason you need more room?
Let them do their job.
I mean, there's got to be like a lawful reason to move the press. We have a legal right to film it.
We're taking them this way. That's the way we gotta
Yeah, but what's the argument? I mean, we just need to get you space to do your job. This is more than enough room to do your job. Moving.
Let them do their job. Let them do their job. Let them do their job. Let them do their job.
The Attorney General has said over and over, we only have to move as far as you need to do your job. We're not in your way back there. I don't see why you have to move us further. Moving. What's the legal justification for moving the press?
Behind that door.
What is the legal justification for moving the press further?
Let them do their job. 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 Let them do their job.
rape of a 16-year-old girl is a far less crime than the rape in this home. The president ordered babies ripped from the arms of their breastfeeding mothers. That is a crime far worse than what we are doing. So you are citizens as well as police officers. And I implore you to remember that you are citizens as well, and to remember that act about the worst crimes that are being committed under this power. Much worse than anything you are doing.
Shut down Kavanaugh now. People gonna rise like the water. Shut down Kavanaugh down. Hear the voice of the secular daughters. Freedom now. People gonna rise like the water. Shut down Kavanaugh down. Hear the voice of the secular daughters.
Hold on. Gotta give you a rest now.
People gonna rise like the water. Shut Greg Kavanaugh down. Your voice our sons and daughters. Protect our freedom now. People gonna rise like the water. Shut Greg Kavanaugh down. Your voice our sons and daughters. Protect our freedom now. People gonna rise like the water. Shut Greg Kavanaugh down. There's a voice of the sons and daughters. Protect our freedom now. People gonna rise like the water. Shut Greg Kavanaugh down. There's a voice of the sons and daughters. Protect our freedom now. People gonna rise like the water. Shut Greg Kavanaugh down. Hear the voice of the sons and daughters. Protect our freedom now. Rise like the water. Shut Greg Kavanaugh down. Hear the voice of the sons and daughters. We will not be silent. 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 We will not
Hey, we still have people under. Hold the line back there.
We're trying to win somebody today. It's just not close.
Do we have an encounter?
Just a couple of officers here to find out where they were going. I couldn't see anything.
Any updates on where they're going? K Street? How'd you head down?
Oh, okay. I got this covered.
If anyone wants to follow me, now's the time. If you want to follow me, now's the time.
You guys are going to Sass now, right?
No, actually, we changed it up. We're going to Flake.
Flake next? I'll give her your best. I lost Brett, but I got his bag.
I don't know if we're live now, but you want to talk to into the camera real quick? Sure. All right, so tell us your name and why you're here.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Sanjeev Sriram. I'm a pediatrician, and I'm here to stand up for my patients, many of whom have pre-existing conditions, many of whom are survivors of sexual assault, and I'm here to demand our senators cancel Kavanaugh to protect my patients' health.
And what does this mean to you personally?
To me personally, this means that we should have a Supreme Court that's actually worthy of my patients and their families. My patients are people who have asthma, cerebral palsy, birth defects. We're understanding each other as humans. And I don't see that happening today. As we've been to Senator Collins' office, and as we've been through the halls, it feels like everybody wants to treat this like another business as usual kind of day when it's really not.
And last thing, if there's one message you want people to take away from these actions, what's that?
I want people to not be dismayed that we don't have to live like this. That if you haven't had a chance to talk to your senator, or maybe you already have, keep raising your voice, keep letting them know that we're on to them, that we're paying attention, that we're not going to let this go. That if people like Brett Kavanaugh cannot hold themselves accountable, then we the people will.
All right, thank you. All right, if there's anyone watching, we're heading to another office now. So we're going to go do another action.
I'm going to see her tomorrow evening.
They're going to need a bigger case, really soon.
All right. And now nice to meet you.
Hey, would any of you like to do a quick interview while we're walking? Yeah. For act.tv.
For what?
Act.tv.
Uh-huh.
All right. So start off, say your name and why you're here.
Annette Lamort, and I'm here from California, and I'm here to support Christine Ford and want to cancel Kavanaugh. So I'm actually a physician. I see the white coat, I'm a reproductive endocrinologist and board certified, and just feel like I have to represent the women and men of California that can't be here. So I got on a plane yesterday and flew in last night. So this is very important. Very important.
What does it mean to you personally?
I think that I've had something inside of me for so long and have not had the time or money to be an activist. And I finally am feeling I'm doing the right thing and the hard thing. And so I'm here, like I said, representing. And I feel really good about it. So personally, it means to me,
Get them there any minute.
I'm doing it for all the women that haven't spoken up.
Okay.
And I'm doing it for all the right reasons, actually.
That seems fucked up. Is there
How do you
anyone
feel
else?
about the reception you've gotten so far
Like, what
from
about Kim?
representatives?
I have
Kim
not
from
met a
Lions
representative yet.
Kim,
Okay.
Kim
Yeah,
from the
so
Lions
I
March?
can
So you're waiting for that.
listen, read, and vote.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Carrying on.
George.
Know about that violence. I believe Anita Hill and I believe Dr. Ford because I know that violence to be true. I was 5.
Get out of the hallway.
He was 15.
Get out of the hallway. Get out of the center of the hallways. You guys will have to move against the wall.
I was 5 and he was 15.
Move against the wall.
At my
You guys will
daycare,
have to get out of the center of the
someone my
hallways.
family trusted very much.
Sir, sir.
I told one person and they did not believe me and I learned the lesson.
People can get through here.
The sad
Walk to
lesson
the end
that
of the
women
halls,
know
either end.
across the
People can
country
get through here. What's the problem?
that we are not believed when we tell our stories. I had to learn that at the age of 5. I now have a child who is 6 and one who is 3. I do not want them to learn that lesson. I want to make sure that in this country we believe people who experience sexual violence. It is a basic thing. It is not too much.
Casually, the first, it's going to be your second warning because you were born in the heart atrium. This will be your second warning.
It is not too much to ask that we do not put in the Supreme Court for a lifetime appointment someone who at the age of 15 violated a law. It is not too much to ask that our senators like Senator Flake and Senator Collins and everyone in the Judiciary Committee step up and vote no and cancel these hearings. We should not be having a conversation about whether or not someone who violated a person at the age of 15 could be put in the Supreme Court. That should not be a conversation that we have. I was not believed when I was 5. 10 years later when I saw him, when I was 15 and he was 25, he tried again to use his power, and at that time I was able to say no. But 10 years again, he was still trying to use the power of male privilege and the freedom of knowing that he could not be held accountable. We cannot repeat that story by putting Brett Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court. I need to know that in this country, my children do not need to learn the lesson I learned when I was 5. I need to know that in this country we believe women. I need to know that in this country we believe victims of sexual violence. Everyone here believes Christine Ford. Everyone here believes Anita Hill. Well, we do not need a sexual predator in this Supreme Court. Senator Flake, this is not even a heroic act. I'm sorry. Just vote it.
After Dr. Ford's story came out, Senator Flake demanded that there be a full investigation. He demanded that of his colleagues. He demanded that of the Senate. He demanded that of this government. So we hope that he'll back up those words with a moral vote. We hope that Senator Flake will vote no. And we're here in the Capitol with thousands of people who have traveled across the country to stand with Dr. Ford, to stand with Deborah Ramirez, to stand with the millions of women across this country and the millions of children and the millions of young people who experience assault and sexual violence every day. We're here to stand with workers. We're here to stand with students. We're here to stand with each other. We're here to stand with Audie. We're asking Senator Flake to be a hero. We're asking Senator Flake to vote no on the confirmation of Judge Brett Kavanaugh. We're asking all the senators, all 100 of the senators, to vote no on Judge Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation process. This is a sham process, and the whole world is watching. You will be held accountable. We will hold you accountable in November. We will hold you accountable in 2020. We will hold you accountable in 2022.
Come on, get down.
Women in this country will lead in this fight. We will reclaim this democracy, whether or not they like it or not. Would anybody else like to share a story? Speak quietly.
My name is Mary Jane Restus, and I'm from Colorado. I told my story before, and I'm HIV positive. I was fully 11. Today I'm going to tell the whole story. At 15 years old, I was attempted sexual assault by a family member. Since being the oldest granddaughter, I came forward and I told her. Nothing was done. I was told I was a believer, and I was told that I was a troublemaker. And unfortunately, being the oldest granddaughter, that meant there was a lot of girls born with me. So it didn't stop with me, it didn't stop with them. So I'm just here to say that I'm here, and I'm here for that. And I'm here to say that even though my grandfather was a horrible man, that I'm here for myself and for my first cousin, all the females in my family. So I just want to say that this troublemaker is here, and I'm here to make it trouble. So please vote no on Brett Kavanaugh. Please believe your children. If your daughter comes to you and says, somebody's touching her at 15, believe her. If she comes to you and she's 7, believe her. If your son comes to you and says that the preacher's touching him, anybody's touching him, believe them. It's important because we matter. The victims matter. And the people that are the abusers need to stop. So we need to vote no. And let's stop this circle. I'm 52 years old. I've heard this my whole life. And I want to let go of it. So please help us stop.
Would anybody else like to share a story?
Wait. So we're here at Senator Blake's office. We're sharing all these stories, but I don't think that any of the staffers can hear them. So I think that perhaps rather than all of us crowding in there, you want to come out. Also, Adi Barkin is here, who had an encounter with Senator Flake. And it's a little bit hard for him to maneuver in there, so could a staffer come out and just maybe have the courtesy to just take down some notes of what we're telling you? Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Scotty, you're in a bad spot. You're in a bad
Keep
spot.
the hallway open.
Didn't know you were here. Yeah.
Keep the hallway open.
I'm not intimate.
Okay.
But I have to keep the hallway
So,
open.
thank you.
But I have to keep the hallway
Senator
open.
Flake's staff is here, so let's tell some stories that we want to pass on.
Most of my family has never heard this. When I was 20, I was a nurse.
Excuse me. You need to stand up. Stand up.
And I was working in the hospital. My car had a flat tire. A man came in that I barely knew. His wife was admitted to the hospital. I went down on break. He went with me. He kept talking to me. I needed to go back upstairs. He kept putting his foot in the elevator saying, "I'll give you a ride home. I'll give you a ride home." I finally just said, okay, you can give me a ride home. I got in his car. I went with him, and then the story changed. It's like, oh, let's go out. We'll meet some of my friends, but we have to stop by my house. We stopped by his house. Once I was in his house, he started tearing off my clothes. I was in my nurse's uniform. He started choking me. He said, "I will take you good or I will take you bad, but I will take you." He raped me as he choked me. And when I heard Professor Ford say that Kavanaugh had his hand over her mouth, I believed her. You do not forget someone choking you. You do not forget someone putting their hand over their mouth and you thinking you're going to die. I came from Boston on the train last night because I cannot tolerate the way the Senate is responding to these allegations against Kavanaugh. There are enough reasons without this to not vote for him. But for God's sakes, for all the boys, girls who have been assaulted over the years, for God's sake, when will you stand up for the American people, for democracy?
We believe you.
We believe you.
Thank you for taking the story. Do you have a response?
No, I don't have a response. We can't speak on behalf of the senator, but I think that was my
Right now. Right now.
I am not currently aware of the senator's enacted the briefing and scope of the meeting. I'm going to put it on the document.
Alright, my name is Allison. I won't get into detail and I don't know which story to share.
Against the
Like
wall.
many
Press
women,
against the wall.
like many women, I have many. I want to speak up because I am exhausted. And I don't just mean that metaphorically. I think all women are exhausted, both metaphorically and physically. I have not slept in days ever since finding out about what Dr. Kavanaugh, Kavanaugh has done to Dr. Ford. I had a hard time sleeping because it's triggered my PTSD. I've woken up every morning with panic attacks. This is a very real thing, and you know, things that young men do if they commit a crime like that, you know, marks women for life. I still have a hard time sleeping and all sorts of related issues from things that mostly started a decade ago, and I don't think it's fair that just because someone was 15 or 16 or 18 when they hurt me that I should have to carry all of these problems with me throughout my life and suffer. And I don't think anyone should have to suffer, and I think it's a disgrace that any senator would even consider voting for Kavanaugh given all that he has done. He has lied under oath, and Dr. Ford has not. So I don't know why he would still be the credible one in this situation. More and more keeps being uncovered, and it's absolutely outrageous that anybody, any senator, could have the lack of empathy or morality to go ahead and vote on a confirmation. So I ask you to do the right thing, senators. We don't deserve this, and a Supreme Court with that man on it is not a safe court for anyone, and it's certainly not a safe court for any woman in this entire country. You can't put a rapist or attempted rapist as the highest position in the land as an arbiter of justice. I mean, it's just absolutely unacceptable, and it's disgusting. That's it.
We believe you.
Senator Flake. Do you have a response to Senator Flake?
No, I, again, can't speak on behalf of the senator, but I have taken down notes. There's so many details and things that you're asking on this one for you.
I emailed on Friday that I asked for a meeting with I said I am available any time of any day of this week. Can you please make sure
We believe you is a form of protest.
get back to me about when I can meet with Senator Flake?
Yeah, I'm not in charge of the senator's personal schedule, but I can give you the email to him.
I emailed on Friday.
Okay, well, I can definitely notify his
Amanda, can you call my name?
Audie is asking for a meeting with Senator Flake. He has emailed, there's been no response. He is leaving his email again. He is saying he's available at any time to speak with the senator. And you're here all week. Great.
There, until we cancel Kavanaugh.
He's here until we cancel Kavanaugh.
We love you.
We have many students want to be this for me.
We have many students here
From Yale.
from Yale Law School.
And Senator Ben Sass
And Senator Ben Sass
also went to Yale for graduate school.
also went to Yale for graduate school,
As did Brett Kavanaugh.
as did Brett Kavanaugh.
And Senator Sass
And Senator Sass
is on the Judiciary Committee.
is on the Judiciary Committee,
And he has spoken eloquently
and he has spoken eloquently
about the need to restore democratic accountability.
about the need to restore democratic accountability. So I think
that maybe we should all go pay him a visit
that maybe we should all go pay him a visit
and make clear to him
and make clear to him
that Yale objects to Brett Kavanaugh.
that Yale, his alma mater, objects to Brett Kavanaugh.
And we're
we're going to follow me. Senator Flake has one more chance to be a hero. First floor. First floor to come fast.
Gentle, everybody. Thank you.
Jeff Flake, please be a decent
Be careful. No running, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Quiet, act quiet, walking up, no repeating, no chanting. This is just to quiet us down. This is not a form of protest. This is just to quiet us down. This is not a form of protest. Quiet us down. Not a form of protest. But you can all do it too. It's not a form of protest. It's just a hand in the air to quiet us down. We're walking first floor, first floor. First floor, take any way that you can. You're going to
We're going to the first floor.
Yale students in your front.
Yale students in the front.
If you're not with Yale, why?
What number are we on?
One. No. Let's 44.
Hey. First floor, Russell. Abraham Assassin's office. Oh, wow. Okay. It's 136.
136.
But let's figure it out in this order. Potentially, but here, I'm biased. Let me call you back.
It's kind of a square. Yeah, but I think 136 is closer now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wait. Stop. Yale students in the front. Just get up against the wall so that we can let everyone else. Everybody who's not a Yale student or alum, I'm mad about it too. Everybody who's not a Yale student, come here. Everybody who's not a Yale student or alum, file in there. Yeah, going through, stay right here. You're getting cut
All right.
Let's reevaluate the rules of protest, the new rules of protest. Of course, snapping is a universal sign of protest. Who knew? So none of that. No repeating anything else that someone says. So we believe you is now a form of protest. We've been given 2 warnings. The 3rd warning, they can move to arrest anybody, so we're not going to do that just yet. We're controlled and disciplined, right? They're allowing us to do fists in the air to be silent, so that we can show that we're being silent. We're going to turn around and march. We're going to turn around and march. Anybody who didn't go to Yale, move in. Press, if you want to just gather here against the wall in this area. We're going to march through you. I'll tell you when we're going to go. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's where we're going.
You guys keep the whole way
You're not
over.
coming out.
Just on one side.
Okay, so we're going to start walking. Yale students, you are in front. I am the front. I is the front. I is here. We're going to start walking. It's okay. Yale students, follow me. Adi, follow me. Yale alumni, follow me. Yale is going this way, yes. Yale is in the front, this is the front. Adi is in the front, Jackson is in the front. Stephanie is in the front, Samson's in the front. Yale's going this way to call in, Yale. This is the front.
So we just checked everything.
Charles is the front. Charles is the front. Okay, on the front.
Get a little taller. You're going to see. So for all of you still watching the stream, we're heading to Sass's office. Right here. Mind if I just grab a shot of this real quick?
Please, it's all yours.
Is more important. We have to shut that down to get to 30. Okay. I can tell Dan right now.
Yeah, tell me. Wait. Check if Phil's. Is Phil doing the 12:30?
I'll find out.
Yeah, so let's Phil's doing 12:30.
And all the non-Yaleys come this way?
If you didn't go to Yale, follow Jen.
You went to Smith.
Yeah.
You didn't go to college.
Yeah, we need to do a pen thing. Stay here. That was hard.
Everyone else can
Only Elsa and me.
People lying against the walls, lying against the walls. Walking down
I'm not sick.
Folks, I know we're all getting settled in here, but make sure we're keeping the middle of the hallway clear.
Keep going, line up against the wall. Thank you. Hey, how are you? Great to see you. How are you doing? Yeah, you look fantastic, actually. Yeah. All right. All right, what is it good?